Wow. It is pretty empty around here. This feels weird. Well, hello everyone. It's a new day here on the Titancraft server. As you can see, I have been deforesting. It's my favorite thing to do. I love to deforest areas at my base because I think it is about time that we get started on our next big project of the base, and that is the village. It's time that we finally get this started. I've been pushing it off for so long, and I've finally actually gotten pretty inspired. We are going to be transforming this village a bit, and also, of course, we're going to be making it much bigger than this, because honestly, like, if we look at this from the sky, I didn't realize how pathetic this village really is. It is tiny. It is really sad. So it's definitely going to be getting quite the facelift. It's going to be expanded. It's going to be pretty awesome. I'm really excited for this. I have some building designs already. I mean, there's still a lot more that I need to do, but I'm very excited for it. So for the village, I have a fairly general idea. Now this middle bit, I've kind of been toying with two different ideas. Either I have the kind of big central buildings for our village, like, you know, like a big communal building, kind of like, you know, the city center may be on this island. Originally it was going to go right here, but I kind of had the idea this would be a kind of a cool spot here. And then I could do some other things on this island right here. Originally this was going to be the docks. Like, this is where all the fishing stuff was going to go. We would have some boats and things like that. Now this may still be where it goes, and I landed in the water. I'm really good at doing that. Now this may still be where this goes. I need to do a little bit of planning, plotting out, just kind of toying with where things will go before I actually settle on it, but that's one of my main ideas. Now over here is going to be a lot of the more residential stuff. I'll probably put like a little market, I don't know, and you know, houses along these hills. It's definitely going to need a lot of terraforming because I don't really want it to be completely flat, and I would like to have a bit more hilliness to this village as well. And no, it's not going to be this sparse tree-wise. We will be adding trees back into this place once I get it more filled up. And of course, there are going to be a lot of buildings, so it's not going to be completely forested. Now, I have been working a little bit on the base since last episode, and I've been working over here at this little coastal area. I finally just had kind of inspiration to get started on this little coast. If you remember a couple episodes back, I did do some of this and it looked really bad. So I tore it down and I ended up coming up with this. I've been mimicking the terraforming that I've been doing over here by the researcher's house, which has been, you know, it's been coming along. I still have not textured this little bit. I've been kind of behind. Oh my goodness. Ow. Yeah, I don't know. Inspiration struck and I got this going, and I'm actually really happy with how this turned out. Obviously, it still has a ways to go, especially this beach. I've never really done beaches before, so this is quite a new thing, and I'm trying. Okay, I'm trying. It's not the best so far, so we'll be definitely toying with that a little bit. Some of this sand still needs a bit of texturing. I've been going with this with the little wood gradient. It's looking not that bad. It was initially a lot bigger, and I kind of didn't like it, so I've gone for a bit more of a smaller gradient, because initially it was a lot darker and it expanded really far out, and I think it was just a little too much. I think I went a little too overboard, so we're gonna stick to that. I'm gonna continue doing this, I think, a little bit off camera, but for now, I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. I've additionally done quite a bit of AFKing at the bamboo farm, and I've gotten quite a lot of bamboo. I mean, let's look. So in my little shulker box room, this entire column is shulkers of bamboo. So I have a lot here, and this entire barrel is also filled with bamboo, and I'm already almost running out of room because it's a lot. And then up here, I have my bamboo blocks, and I have more in here as well. And of course, we have my bamboo farm that's over here that still is giving me bamboo as well. So just every so often, I've been AFKing, and I've been putting stuff in barrels. So I think I should probably stock up my shop with more of these fairly soon. I think I would like to at least fill up this barrel before I get into that. Well, that's really what I've been doing between episodes. I was wanting to do a little bit of furnishing at my house at Typospace, but I just haven't gotten to it yet. So maybe we'll get into that maybe today. day. I'm not entirely sure. I think my main focus is going to be the village. So I think we should probably get thinking a bit about that. I've picked a spot for the center of the village, and it is going to be on this island. The only problem I think I have mentioned is that it is a little too big for this island, so I am going to have to do quite a bit of terraforming. That's really the only kind of a hurdle that I have to do with this island, so we're gonna have to get that done. And one thing that you can see is that these little place markers are on kind of different levels. These two right here are supposed to be on the same level. This one right here is going to be a little higher up. Reason is I don't want the island to just be completely flat. I would like some kind of elevation to it, and I might also just kind of put a platform on the building behind me. But I think it would just kind of make it a little bit more cool visually to have it not completely on a single flat level. So we're going to do it like that. Now, what are these buildings going to be, you may ask? Well, I mean, one of them, this building over here, I have I downloaded a mod for third person stuff, and I'm still getting used to it. Okay, so this building over here is going to be kind of like the big main building. So think of it kind of like a community building, something like that. It's fairly similar to like a Viking longhouse kind of thing. So, you know, a lot of people will congregate here. Maybe there'll be town meetings, activities, I don't know, stuff like that. So that's going to go there. Oh my gosh. This is going to be a big fountain. So we're going to have a big, cool fountain in the middle of this island. It's going to have a cool little statue on it. I think it'll look pretty cool. I mean, I've already planned it out, so I know what it looks like, and I think it looks pretty cool. And then right here, I don't really know what the function of this building is going to be just quite yet, but it's going to be fairly similar in style to my little starter base over there, the little mossy tent kind of looking buildings. It's going to be kind of a bigger one of those right here. And the big building over here is going to be similar to my big building over there, that kind of style. And you can't really see it, but the researcher's house, that kind of style over there. Yes, this right here, this right here. So that's going to be the style that we're going for with this one. So the goal of this village is to kind of blend both of those styles together. So we're going to have some very mossy buildings, and we're going to have a bit more of these developed buildings as well. Before we get started on the buildings, I think it is time that we get this island actually, well, ready for these buildings. Make it look good, actually allow them to fit on this island. And just make it a little nicer, because there's just this random water ravine. There's a creeper hole over there. It's really weird elevation. We need to get this looking better. So let's get started on that. The island is done for the most part. I say for the most part because it needs a little bit more terraforming, but I want to get the buildings in before I do any of that, just so I can get a better feel for what I want to do with the rest of the island. But this is a nice flat area. I am ready to get the builds in on this island. As you can see, I have built another little cliff. I just can't resist building these. These are a lot of fun. So it's just a nice little cliff that wraps around. I've got it all textured. It's textured with my typical cyan terracotta, tough stone, andesite, and a little bit of light gray wool. I've been doing that pretty consistently with all my cliffs, pretty much. I have added deep slate to one of them, just for deeper waters. I don't think it's really deep enough for me to do deep slate here. I mean, I could do some down there. I don't really think that's entirely necessary, so we'll see. And also, the island is not completely finished, because we have some little overhangs right here. If I swim under, you can see that it is not really connected to the ground for the most part, but we'll get that done eventually. So I think with this island pretty much done and ready for building, we should get started on our buildings, our little town square. So I think we should get started. Well, we may be done with the island, at least for now. But before we go over there and check it out, I have to show you something. You see, today, as of recording this, a video came out. And that video belongs to the one and only Tango of the tech variety, Mr. Titancraft himself, and spoiler alert for past life. Yeah, I'm just you know, if just taking a second, you know, skip ahead if you don't want the spoilers. Yeah, okay. You still here? You want it if you okay. You got eliminated first. This is a sad day for Titans for sure. Right? So I thought it would be kind of funny to memorialize his wonderful death into my base. I was like, at first, my village should have a graveyard, and then I realized I'm making like a crypt at my base. So I can't do this. And so we have a room right here. This is the crypt of Tango. Here lies Tango, the goodest gluten guy. Is a cake, you know, some creeper faces, some gluten, and some redstone, you know, so he can plant his gluten, he can eat his cake, and he can do his redstone in the afterlife. So I think we need to pay our respects just for a minute. I think we should have a bit of a moment of silence for him. Okay. Well, that's over with. Let's go back to the the matter at hand. We have our island complete-ish. We don't talk about this side. Of course, I'm not completely done with this. It is definitely in need of expansion. Of course, this place is going to be expanding quite a bit, so this is not going to be 100% complete. This side in particular, because I'm going to hopefully be connecting it up to there, where I am planning on putting some more houses in industry, I think. I think this will be the industry island. So we'll probably have another little bridge like this dude connecting over here. But this is the little city center of sorts. We have this cool little fountain with a ram, and I'm actually kind of happy with how this turned out. This actually took a couple tries, and I think it's... I mean, I'm not to toot my own horn, but I'm getting pretty good at organics. I mean, it's pretty teeny, but still, you can tell that it's a ram. So I mean, I think you can tell what it is. We have this dude right here, which is very reminiscent of my starter base over there. My thoughts on the function of this building and this one, they kind of I can't figure out which I want which one to be. Does that make sense? I mean, it should. I don't know how to talk today. This is, I think I've already explained my idea for this is the big kind of community building. So ideas would be that this is where, well, the community hangs out. Maybe things like meetings or some events would be held here, and they can all kind of happen in here. This is kind of inspired-ish, at least function-wise, by a bit of a longhouse, a Viking longhouse. In that kind of a lot of the people kind of convene here and congregate and do a lot of stuff together in this building. It's not giant, but I think I can try and make stuff fit. The other one over here, I've also been kind of thinking about, and seeing as this is the town center, and seeing as this village is going to be fairly big, hopefully, I think this would be kind of an interesting kind of seat of government of sorts, something like a city council. You know, this place needs to be run by someone and it needs to have a building. And I think in the city center is perfect. So I think just in here is kind of just a small area. There's just going to be a bunch of chairs. It's just going to be kind of a big meeting area for officials of the place. And then we also have this bridge. I'm actually pretty happy with how this turned out because this bridge was completely unplanned. Like I just kind of started building and hoped it turned out good. And I like how it turned out. These other things were obviously planned, but this dude, I made it up on the fly. However, there is a kind of a design flaw. See, whenever I'm running around, I love to run and jump. This dude doesn't really, oh, wait, am I actually doing it? Yeah, see, look, I'm gonna face plant into lanterns. It's kind of my fault, but I'm not changing it. Oh, I really need to get used to those keybinds. I think for the rest of the episode, we are going to be doing some interior work, and you're gonna be along the ride with me. We are going to be doing what was I thinking that it's gonna be called? The council building? You know, the government city running building thing. I'm really good with words today. I just put in this little oak floor, so it's not all grassy and sad anymore. And I have a couple ideas. Firstly, what do I start with? Probably a bit of a stage of sorts. And I was thinking, hold on. Going through the process with me, I'm just pretty much making this up as I go. Something like this, I was thinking that be the kind of lining to it. I don't know. Let's see. Okay. I just went completely nonverbal and I did this. It's not very good, but I mean, this entire place is very empty. So this is definitely up for change. But my general idea, I think, layout-wise, is we have this kind of center stage. This is kind of where the person will, you know, take the stand, talk a lot, stuff like that. And then what we're going to have, I think, is like seats running down the middle, kind of like this. Ish. Similar kind of like to bleachers. And then we have a carpet. Wow. I'm just like kind of thinking of like parliaments. Like where they have like one side, they're like kind of facing each other and they're just like looking at each other and arguing. And the seats are in. And I also ended up putting in some like, not really beams. I love putting in beams, but these aren't really beams. I don't really know how to describe them. And some lights as well. So this place is actually lit up. Now for the most part, the interior is mostly complete. I just want at least some kind of centerpiece, and I'm thinking about putting something here. How well do I think it'll turn out? I have no idea, so we're gonna have to figure it out together. My idea is to kind of do like the kind of like deer horns, like, you know, like a skull like with antlers and stuff, and that's kind of the centerpiece. However, it's kind of hard to it's not good. It's kind of hard to represent, especially at such a small scale. Okay, let's see. Maybe it's really big. It's really big. Like, I'm giving my speech like under this gigantic no. That's a no. I really want this to be a centerpiece. Maybe we do that. I think it gives the idea enough. These things aren't my specialty. They're kind of hard to get at a small scale, but hopefully that's kind of recognizable. To the best of my extent, I think it's alright. There's not much else I can really do in here without making it a little too cramped. I want this to be a fairly open space because obviously I want people to kind of sit in these bleachers, talk, be able to see, and I think this is good enough. So I think we have the council house, the city council kind of house, government building. I don't have a name for it. Done. And with that, I think we are also going to have to call this episode here because this is taking me forever. Like, this entire build, it's taking me several days of building, several days of procrastinating, and I need to get this done because my schedule is about to get very busy again. And I'm going to try my best to not go on another hiatus on Titancraft. I'm not doing it, okay? I'm not doing it. Uploads may be a little bit more infrequent, because the summer is ending, so I actually have to do stuff. Ow. I do have some more plans, especially with this village. I want to get Titans involved, so hopefully I can maybe set that up in the next episode, because I don't think I can build every single building here myself, and it's fun to get other people involved, you know, do something similar to Typo's base. You know, I'm stealing from Typo. Typo, you didn't just hear that if you're watching. I think we need to do one more thing before we go, and I think it is pay our respects to Tango one more time. One more time before we finish. Okay. Bye.